Okay, heading over to Healdsburg, Tayman Park Golf Club. It is July 7th, 2024. We got a tee time at 12:10. Tayman Park's a great little course. It's a 9-hole course, but challenging. Lots of elevation changes. Couple par fives, couple par threes, par fours. I think it's a par 36. The name of the game today is to improve over the last round. So that is no three putts as usual. That's the goal. No three putts.
Winter is coming.
Trying to keep number of putts down to around 16-ish for a 9-hole. And I really want to work on greens and reg. I struggled with that on the last round, and that definitely hurt me a little bit for this course. It's challenging.
In 500 feet, turn right onto
So that's
Mason
going to
Street.
show up an hour early. My tee time's at 12:10. I'll get there a little after 11. So off the range, I'm just really working up the bag here, starting with my wedges. Really just dialing in yardages, direction, where my miss might be. And I did notice, and it's one of the nice things about watching yourself after you've recorded yourself all day long, is you can kind of diagnose what might be going on. So I noticed I was getting some weaker yardages than I would normally hit, and I was getting a little bit of a fade with the long irons and the woods, and but my shorter irons were a little bit more of a pull. So this is, for me at least, it's indicative of the dreaded early extension. It's in, pulling the club inside on the takeaway and then coming a little over the top. And so dealing with the closed face and things like that, then you're bound to get some issues. And that's kind of what's been happening over the last couple weeks or so. But when you're at the range before, I'm just trying to get a sense of where my shots are going to go. I'm not there to fix. I'm there to adapt. And so I'm basically considering myself playing the little baby fade off the tee and seeing if I can just make that work. Running down after the rain session down to the chipping green, I just wanted to basically practice a bunch of bump and runs. So I did a lot of work with bump and runs in my last round. It saved me at least 2 or 3 or 4 strokes. And so I wanted to make sure I practiced that here. And it was a mistake because this course, it's not like I've never played this course before, but I didn't even think about it. They're small greens. They're small targets. The areas in front and around the greens are all hilly. It's all undulated. You're either chipping up to something or down to something. There's not a nice bump and run. Like this scenario here where you've got a nice big flat green and runway to get out to something doesn't exist on the course in very many cases. Maybe there's 1 or 2 holes. And I should have just kept with using my wedges. I should have just practiced a lot more with my wedges, picking out targets and things like that. I felt pretty good and comfortable over the ball with my chipping game while I was practicing. It didn't necessarily translate out to the course, and I caught the yips a couple times. A couple times it worked out well, sometimes it didn't. In general, I like my chipping game, and I like my sand game. So we're off to the first hole here. Got lucky and actually played alone for quite a while. This is a downhill par 3. You can't even see the green from the tee box. And I ended up a bit short here, but chipped up nice and close to about 5 or 6 feet. And then tapped in for my first par. So I was feeling pretty good about hitting my goals today. And this is going to change pretty soon. Hole 2 is this uphill par 5. That time I missed right. My baby fade was definitely but in play. I left myself behind a tree and just had to get up and over and into position to get on the green in 3. Just let something up here about 150 yards. And a nice little up. I really felt good about this one. I thought it was nice and close. But when I walked up to the green, it definitely wasn't. So I had some work cut out. But I did manage to knock this thing in with just 2 putts. So I'm walking off 2 pars back to back. So I'm feeling still pretty good. That might be really good. Oh, front, it's a little short. Hit up on it a little bit, so this is going to come out a little left, I think.
scuffed.
So coming up short on this par three and then duffing that chip, you got to forget the bad shots early, as soon as you can. So I was just trying to focus and get this close. I managed to knock this up here and just walk away with minimal damage with a bogey. So I've carded my first bogey for the day.
Okay, there's the baby fade. Don't hit the tree though. Oh, I hit the tree. Okay, came down, big bounce. Lining up the ball on the heel so I can swing down and across it. Not a bad out, but could have been better. And it's still rolling. Wow. Didn't overbreak into this. I got the fringe right next to me, so it's kind of a pain. Oh, I totally didn't hit that.
So after an errant tee shot, a well executed but poor resulted low percentage shot, and a sand shot, I'm left with a double bogey in my first three putt for the day. And moving on to a little uphill par three. But this one is definitely a little bit of a kick in the stomach. This par three is all uphill. It's 160. Ended up clubbing up, and I had a very pretty good shot. Felt like a pretty good shot. Ended up pretty close. This should have been a nothing burger two putt for par.
Oh, I killed it.
And it's all downhill, and I just fired it way on past. And this is going to lead to my second three putt in 2 holes. So I'll walk away, head down with a bogey.
Oh, I pulled it, but it's coming back. I think. Oh, maybe. Please get up. I'm on.
So after a pulled tee shot, but a good second shot, I was sitting really, really close on this one, and I managed to knock this one in for my first birdie of the day. And at least get one back on the scorecard. So I still haven't managed to account for my baby fade on this big downhill par four. I ended up having to take a drop here. Trying to just chip up and close onto the green. I'll get it fairly close, but then one more chip, and then a quick little tap in, and I can walk away with a little minimal damage and just with the bogey. But this is a disappointment. This is an easy par hole.
That's a good ball. Be top of the hill. No wimpies. Get up! Get up!
After finally hitting a good tee shot, I was actually pin high but off the green on this short par four. Tried to chip up, and of course you got to talk to the ball if it's not doing what you want. I managed to chip it close, but miss for this conversion to par, and I'll walk away with another bogey. This was a little bit of a disappointment, but it is what it is.
Ah! Hang on! Oh! Get down! In the kitty litter. Wow, I hit a rock.
So after a good tee shot, a disastrous second shot, a bunker on the third, a surprise out of the bunker, I've managed to finish this up with a two putt for my last bogey of the day. and I was pretty relieved that this round was over. Certainly wasn't my best, not my worst, but I certainly have things to work on, and that's what's coming up in the next video. So like and subscribe. Thanks.